When coaching church planners, I like to spend much of my time talking about the vision, values, and culture of a church. In the early stages, kind of that pre-launch stage of church plants, these conversations often lead to sermon series, web presence, printed communication pieces. When pulled together with a lot of time, prayer, and purpose, those statements serve the church, the board, the staff, in providing kind of a grid, a framework for making decisions. Most people understand the importance of writing out a vision statement or writing out value statements. But most often, the culture piece is a piece that's actually left out. Let me encourage you, don't underestimate the power of culture. As a pastor, as a planter, you are a chief cultural architect for the church and what it becomes. As a result, you have to spend time thinking intentionally about the culture you want to see in the church. If you need a little motivation in this area, remember the fact that culture eats vision for breakfast. Most people won't come back because you have a cute and clever vision statement on the wall. They come back because they like who you are and they want to be a part of what they see and what they experience. In other words, they like the culture. See, culture is everything. Here are a few important things and questions to consider as you're thinking through cultural type of questions. First question is this: what does our culture say about us? Next, what do you want our culture to say about us? If I were new, would I like our culture? Or how about, how did our culture become our culture? Another key question to ask yourself is, who does our culture actually speak to? Is it speaking to church people or people that are looking for answers? Where are we going? Why are we going this direction? These are just a few questions that I think are good to wrestle with as you have the culture conversation. Take time, practice, write them out. Try to figure out how to put them in concise statements with the intention of getting maybe 5 or 7 statements that really define who you are and where you're going. One of the most effective ways to articulate a company and church's culture is by crafting culture statements. What is a culture statement? A culture statement is simply a statement that expresses your church's mindset, or this is the way that we do things, and this is why we do it the way that we do it. See, the goal of a culture statement is to communicate the values, the philosophies, and the ideologies that you've chosen to live by. What makes a good culture statement? Well, I think the best culture statements give a clear picture of what it's like to be a part or to be on staff of a certain organization. Here are some of my favorite cultural statements I've come across over the years. Some of these are from church cultures, but some of them are corporation statements as well. For instance, we never play it safe. We follow Jesus. I love that because it invokes some type of emotion. There's a call to that people have to kind of adjust and say, is this the way that I'm living my life? Here's another statement: found people, find people. Or, we live generously knowing we can't outgive God. I like this: we live on the solution side of every problem. Or, we listen, we care, we serve. I've seen organizations write this on their wall: we check our egos at the door. Or, we do the right thing. We're going to practice open and real communication. One of my favorites as well is love first, lead second, but we always have to do both. I think you see, and you're getting the picture here. Culture statements can be a useful tool both inside and outside of church. Good culture statements bring energy to the people of the organization. They energize the staff. They energize the volunteers. Another bonus is that good culture statements actually help evaluate fit. They help you evaluate goals and even policies. Remember that culture statements really represent the brand. In a church setting, you have to be willing to ask, who are we? What is our brand? Why do people come and stay? These things are only going to help you capture the culture of your brand. Don't neglect the culture as you're planting your church.